The number one question I hear that my fellow vets that I talk to get offended by is, have you killed someone?
Oh yes, that's a good one. Yes, that's a good one.
And I used to be a jerk and say, like, have you? Because I feel like it's just as personal of a question. We're in different situations, but like if I have been put in the position to do that, then it's not like I just, or any vet just pulled the trigger and was like, okay, and then, you know, I'm gonna now do something else or like do accounting or something like that. That's very personal to them.
It's one that you hear a lot, and I think it's just perpetrated by the stereotypes that the movie industry has put forth. For example, I find the question to me not so much offensive as hilarious. It's because my position in the military is human resources. I work behind a desk, and I'm very proud of that. And I take my job very seriously.
Of course.
So when somebody asks me, well, did you kill somebody? Unless it involved a paper cut or tripping somebody down the stairs, probably not. And it just, there's an idea out there that if you're in the military, you must have killed somebody. You must have seen action. There's no way that you joined the Army for 9 years and sat behind a desk, right?
If you use the training that they give you, you can succeed out here in the civilian world. You know, certain things like haircuts every week, you know, proper hygiene, you know, way to carry yourself, bearing, tact, you know, your core values. If you reapply them to your civilian lifestyle, it will help you to make better decisions, because a lot of people, they feel as though they were under that level of restriction for so long, and then when they're finally free, it's like, oh, let me just forget everything. And I think that's the biggest setback for some of our veterans that exit out of the military, you know, box and go into civilian lifestyle. They forget that the training that they've already had really benefited them while they were in there, and it could do the same for civilian lifestyle. My advice to any veteran, anybody that's, you know, during their transitional phase, have yourself a plan, always be open to talk to new people, you know, be accepting to what they have to say, and don't forget your training.
Iraq was completely different from Afghanistan. Particularly I was in northern Iraq with the Kurdish people and the Peshmerga, so working alongside with them, it was really good. Things kept pretty quiet. We worked along the border of Syria and Turkey, based out of Fob Warrior, which is up at the north. So we did a lot of aerial support for the ground units, and the people there were just very, very welcoming. You know, the Kurdish people were really great. Then once I got back from home, you know, there were changes within myself that I didn't notice from some of the combat action that I had witnessed. I didn't really understand it because it was my first real combat experience. So, you know, just we did what soldiers do. We shrugged it off and just kept going.
Going overseas too, I mean, we all joke about it, that everything is literally a yellow hue almost. It's like an off-white. It's just a dirty looking color. I mean, something that you see dust collect on it for a long time, and it has that off-white color. Everything over there is that color. Everything. Our flight suits, our buildings, the inside of the buildings. Not because they're all dusty, but for whatever reason, that's what color the base decided to paint everything. And so you literally, there's no sense of color, because when you go on these missions, it's all desert anyway, so you see that same color. The only colors that you see over there are that sand color and then gray, which is your airplane. It's really it. Color-wise, and then once you come back from deployment and you go back to that very same location where you left off, you know, the place that I was telling you about where you fly from into Al Udeid, Qatar, you're bombarded with color again.